Rodgers is a Jet. Football season is finally exciting again for a lot of Jets fans, for every Jets fan, actually. So
Yes.
let's start with the game this past Thursday night with the Lions and the Chiefs. Lions going into Arrowhead, bite some kneecaps off, come out with the win again on banner night for the Chiefs. Of course, the Chiefs were missing Travis Kelce and Chris Jones in the process
Mhm.
of them losing that game. So, Joe, what were your thoughts on the Lions Chiefs game, and what do you think
Um,
about the Lions going forward throughout the season?
so before getting into that game, I knew the precaution with Travis Kelce and Chris Jones. But when I like was betting on the game, I was like, it's the Chiefs, you got Patrick Mahomes. I'm not betting against the Chiefs, right? And then as time went on, like an hour before the game, I just got this thought in my head, probably because you told me on FaceTime that you were betting the Lions. And I was like rethinking in my head, like, is the Lions gonna go into Chiefs Stadium and make a statement on their win? I think that's what the NFL wants. That's what I think. Sure, they got their golden boy Patrick Mahomes, but I think they need a new team in the NFL that's gonna rise. And I think that's going to be the Lions. Could be the Jets, but I think it's definitely the Lions. They could definitely make the playoffs this year for sure in the NFC.
So, are you worried about the Chiefs at all throughout the season if Chris Jones doesn't come back until week 8? The defensive line looked good for the Chiefs, though, throughout the
Yeah,
whole game. They
right.
were stopping the run throughout the game. They looked good. But, I mean, where was Jahmyr Gibbs for the Lions? Rookie running back out of Alabama,
Oh
drafted him in
man.
fantasy. They were hyping him up all week, all
Yeah,
throughout the draft process, how fast he was, how explosive he was, how he's going to change the whole Lions offense and what they did. And he was barely on the field.
exactly. You know what I think? I think, as most rookies are, they're gonna go into the system. They're gonna do a couple plays. Sure, most rookies that are like top 10 or top 12 will make an immediate impact. But I think
Most of them.
Dan Campbell
Most
is
of them,
doing
not all of them, most of
not
them.
all of them, but I'm just saying Dan Campbell is just trying to ease him in, put David Montgomery in there and teach him his ways. And David Montgomery had a decent game. I had him in fantasy, which was beneficial to me. But but yeah, I mean, I think Jahmyr Gibbs is gonna have a good career. So, after looking at that one run, I forgot what part of the game it was, but he had a really good run
He
at
had
one point
multiple
of the
really
game.
good runs bouncing off
Showed his
tackles.
potential. Showed his
It
potential.
Chris Collinsworth said he could hear the acceleration from Jahmyr Gibbs from the booth, right, when
Yeah.
every time he got the ball. Guy's fast as lightning, and I don't know why he wasn't on the field more, but hopefully he gets more integrated into the offense as the season goes on.
Yeah, and he didn't have as much snaps as David Montgomery did, but he did
It doesn't make any
average.
sense. That doesn't make any sense to me.
I
Why
don't
was
get
he on
that
the
either.
field more? I don't understand. He got 8+ yards, it seemed, every time he touched the ball, and he
That's what I'm
wasn't on the field
saying.
more.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't get as much as him, but he did average way more yards than David Montgomery did. I felt that David Montgomery averaged, I think, a good 3 to 4, maybe 3 yards a carry, which is okay, but it's
He's
not.
more of a bruiser, downhill running back. Jahmyr
Yes.
Gibbs is more of explosive. You can move him around. You can move him around the line. You can line up as wide receiver, running back,
Yes.
which is what the Lions are going to try to do all season and try to get him. As the season goes on, they're going to try to get him more involved. Hopefully, I mean, I might.
Yeah.
It's a debate whether I should leave him in for week 2 or not, but we'll see what happens this
You
week
know,
with
I
the
just
rest of
want to
my team.
question. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Um, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Okay.
Where this isn't an overreaction, but where would you rank him in this year's receivers in the NFL?
It's a good question, Joe. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown has the capability to be a top wide receiver in this league, and he's
Yes.
already clearly the number one target for Jared Goff in that offense. Now that T.J. Hawkinson is gone, and um, I think Amon-Ra's in for a big year this year. He had a great year last year, and he's going to keep building on it. He looks way more explosive. He looks stronger. He looks faster,
Yeah,
and I think he's going to be in for a good year. And that offense is going to run through him.
exactly. And that offense is very explosive. And it's a very innovative offense. I think it's going to work out for him in his favor.
Right. So let's get to the picks for this NFL week. Joe,
I'm
we have
ready.
a new segment that we are very excited about throughout the season that we're going to share with everybody. And
All
oh,
right.
by the way, before we get to this segment, I want to say that we're going to have shows every Tuesday and Thursday this football season, 2 times a week instead of 1 time a week the first time around that we did the show. Um, and we're very excited to do it. Um, so Tuesdays are mostly gonna be reviewing the week before.
Yep.
College football and NFL, and Thursdays are gonna be reviewing the week ahead. And so with that, Joe, time for the Jiggy and Joe Cash Flow, starring Joe
Jiggy and
Buselli.
Joe Cash Flow. What a name that is.
What a name that is, Joe.
I love
So
it.
let's start with the Carolina Panthers against the Atlanta Falcons. Carolina's on the road against Atlanta, 1 o'clock p.m. on Sunday.
Okay. Here's my take. I think the Falcons are going to take this game. And I just think like I feel like the Panthers are a really young team and they're not necessarily ready for week 1. Maybe more towards the season they'll kind of get their groove, but I think the Falcons are the better team right now. That's what I feel. And I
So let me
think
ask you a question real quick. I'm sorry to cut you off. Let me
yeah,
ask you a question real quick.
yeah.
Frank Reich got fired by the Colts. Maybe November, I think it was of last season.
Mhm.
Took him a while to score in the preseason, which I wasn't really surprised about because I think Frank Reich's offense is a little stale. But he has a new rookie quarterback in Bryce Young, top pick, number 1 pick, against Desmond Ritter.
Yeah.
Carolina has some weapons now for Ritter too. Hayden Hurst, Adam Thielen, DJ Chark. No, DJ Chark is on the team. What do you're going to bet against Bryce Young? You think he's going
Look,
to struggle?
I think I really do think the Panthers, I feel like it's a 50-50 shot, but if like a gun to my head, I feel the Falcons are more ready for this game than the Panthers are. They definitely could do something with those weapons too. Adam Thielen on the team as well. Um, I don't know. I just think it's really a toss up at this point. But I think for the Falcons, Bijan Robinson, his first game is going to be a good game. I think he's going to break out this game. And his line for his yards, his rushing yards is 69.5. I think he goes over. That's what I
That's
think.
interesting because they still have Cordell Patterson as a joker position this year. He doesn't have an actual position listed. He just called a
Yeah.
J, which is short for a joker position. He's going to be
That's my
moved over
fear.
on the offense, which is what Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be for the Lions, which we were just talking about.
Right.
So we'll
That's
see.
my fear.
I think Bijan Robinson is definitely going to be the premier back in this game. You know what? Give me the Falcons also.
Let's go. You got it.
Game 2, Joe, Cincinnati and Cleveland. Who you got?
Um, okay. It's the Bengals. I really think the Bengals are taking this one. Not knocking the Browns in any way, but I think the Browns are probably going to be fighting for second place this season. I think they're going to be third place.
Really?
Yes. Bengals are going to be number I feel like a bona fide number 1 on this in the AFC North, I think. I think Ravens could take 2 depending on if Lamar is healthy or not. And then probably the Steelers this year
Yep.
are getting some noise. So
Right.
I
I
wouldn't be
think this.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they, start stacking some wins, maybe get second place over the Ravens. You never know.
I think Bengals, Cleveland, AFC North matchup. It's always tough when you're on the road in the AFC North, especially with Cleveland with Deshaun Watson playing a full year this year, has a full offseason under his belt, practicing with the team, and is away from all the distractions that he had, I guess, a couple years ago. You know what? Give me Cleveland. I think it's gonna be a tough matchup. I think Cleveland's gonna come out ready for this game. Everyone's
Right.
doubting them. Everyone thinks Cincinnati's gonna be winning this game, which I want to pick Cincinnati so bad because I have their defensive fantasy, Joe.
Mhm.
But a part of me just can't help but think that Deshaun Watson is going to be turned to 2020 MVP Deshaun Watson form.
I wouldn't be surprised if that happens too, but according to last year, I don't know what he's going to do with this Browns offense. I think Nick Chubb is still a top 3 back. I think he's going to carry the team as well. The line for the Bengals is -130. I think that's a good line. I would take that. But I'm taking -2. It's really not much, but it makes it -110. So
AFC North games are always tough, so that's going to be
yes,
a great game to watch. It's definitely going to be a close game. It's not going to be one of those blowouts.
right.
So you're definitely going to get a good game out of that one, and we are split on that one, Joe. So let's go Jacksonville at Indy now. Anthony
Okay.
Richardson versus Trevor Lawrence, Joe. Calvin Ridley's back with Jacksonville. Who do you got?
I'm very excited to watch the Jaguars this season. They have a ton of potential, possibly late playoff contenders. For me, it's a divisional matchup. I think the game goes over 46. That's what I feel. I feel it's gonna be a little bit high scoring. But I would take the Jaguars in this one.
You think it's gonna be high scoring with Anthony Richardson making his first career start?
Well, I mean, the line is at 46, so is that really high scoring? Not necessarily. That's like 23 points each. So sort of. But
No,
I think so.
no Jonathan Taylor for the Colts as he's holding out for a new contract. He got put on, I think it was PUP, which is he's not IR. He's out for the first 4 games.
Hmm.
And he's probably never going to play another down for the Colts. It's an ugly situation over there. I don't see how that gets fixed. The running back position market is declining every season. It's sad to see what happened in the running back position because if you take away the running back in an
I hate
NFL
that too.
offense, I
Yeah.
mean, what are you going to do? You just become one dimensional. And I think running backs have to be paid properly. And I agree with Jonathan Taylor, and because he's really the top back in the league right now, in my
Yeah.
opinion. He's incredible when he's on the field, and he had a down year last year with injuries, and the offensive line wasn't great for the Colts last year. I was on the Bring the Juice podcast last year talking about the Colts all year long. Got to see what that team was, and that team was lost all year long.
Right.
And Quentin Williams, not Quentin Williams. Oh my God, Quentin Quentin Nelson, the
Quentin Nelson.
left guard for the
They're two Jets
left
out right now.
left guard for the Colts. Had a terrible year last year. Same thing with Ryan Kelly. The offensive line was a
Terrible.
mess last year for the Colts. So we'll see if they can make some strides up there to get back to the form that they were a couple of years ago with Carson and not Carson, Andrew Luck, but they were offensive line was good with Carson too. Quentin Williams,
Right.
my God, bro. Quentin Nelson had a great year with Carson. He had a Pro Bowl year. He was a stud all year. Last year, for whatever reason, nothing was clicking with the Colts on both sides of the ball. Give me Jacksonville in this game. I think Colts are going to need a couple games to get started with Anthony Richardson for him to get comfortable, see the speed of real game
Yep.
action.
Yep.
Not playing against 2s and 3s in the preseason. Jacksonville has a really fast defense. Walker's in another year on the defensive line for Jacksonville. You got Josh Allen on the other end in Jacksonville. It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough. I like Andre Cisco in the back end with Jacksonville. I'm taking Jacksonville, and I assume you are too.
Oh yeah, for sure. I might even take their spread. I'm not too sure what their spread is, but they're -4.5. I would probably take that. Although it is a divisional game, so they know how to play each other.
Right. So let's move on to Tampa Bay and Minnesota. Baker Mayfield's making his first career start for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Not many people are talking about the Vikings this year. A lot of people are talking about the Packers with Jordan Love and how good he looked in training camp in the preseason, making incredible throws. Um, I think Minnesota is gonna be a really good team this year, and I wouldn't be surprised if they
Think
end up
so?
winning the division. I would not be surprised if they end up winning the division. The Lions are gonna be right there with them. We'll see what the Packers are, but the Bears. I mean, I think the Bears gonna need another couple years.
Yeah.
You know what? That's gonna be a really tough division. I take that back. What I said about the Bears. That's gonna be a good race.
I
But
was
I think the
gonna say,
Vikings.
I think the Bears could definitely make some noise this year. They got some new wide receiver, new wide receivers, some new weapons. So, hopefully Justin Fields takes a leap. Instead of people disrespecting, he's been being disrespected over this past
Right.
year
I
with
agree.
his throwing ability.
I agree.
So we'll just have to wait and see. For me, I think I feel like it's gonna go over again, for over 45.5, but I'm not too sure on that one. It's just an iffy pick. But I do think the Vikings are gonna win this one. I don't think they're gonna have the juice that they had last year with I'm pretty sure they went 11-0 last year at one point.
I think they were close to that. I don't
Yeah,
remember
I
the
think they're
exact
close.
record
They
they
were
were
they were
running.
undefeated at one point, or at least had one loss
I
at
don't
one.
think they were 11-0. I don't think they were 11-0, but
Maybe
they
they had
were
one loss or something. But you
okay.
get the point. They were on fire the first half of the season. But I do think the Vikings are still going to be where they're at. Maybe not as much as last year, but I think they'll take this game.
I'm taking the Vikings too. I think a lot of people are sleeping on them, and I think they're going to make a run this year again after that terrible loss to the Giants in the divisional round last year. I think
Yeah.
they're going to come back with Kevin O'Connell. I like Kevin O'Connell a lot, and I think they're going to make a run this year again. I think a lot of people are counting them out in that division. Um, Tennessee and New Orleans, Joe. Who do you got?
Oh man, that's gonna be a really good game, I feel. Um, I still believe in Tannehill. I love Derrick Henry. But I'm thinking possibly Titans money line, possibly. But I do like the Saints a lot. And I also think that Chris Olave, he's gonna have a great year this year, along with Garrett Wilson. But Chris Olave, his line is at 67.5 yards receiving. I think he's gonna go over that. That's what I feel. So I'm gonna take Titans money line, but it's definitely a toss up.
I agree. I'm taking Tennessee as well. I can never count out Mike Vrabel and the Tennessee Titans, man.
Yep.
They're just so tough on defense. And the first game with Derek Carr and that new team might go through some growing pains trying to get down timing with the receivers. Um,
Yeah.
and the deep and dude, I, I'm going back and forth on this, but New Orleans defense is not bad either. But I'm going to take Mike Vrabel and the Tennessee Titans in this game. I think they're going to come out. They're always hard-nosed team. They're never going to be terrible at football, no matter who the quarterback is or what their situation is. Mike Vrabel is a great, great head coach. And I'm going to take the Tennessee Titans over Dennis Allen and the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, and like you think about it, the first half of the year with Ryan Tannehill before their new quarterback came in, I forgot his name already. But
Will Levis,
Will Levis, yeah. Or the one last year. But they were
Malik
on fire
Willis.
the first half of the year and their new quarterback came in and then they just fell off. So I think with Ryan, I believe still believe in Ryan Tannehill and that division's gonna be good as well. He's gonna compete with the Jaguars.
What do you think about the San Francisco 49ers and Pittsburgh Steelers? I stayed away this game personally, betting on it. I did
Right.
not want any part of this game. You got the Jungle Cat, Nick Bosa, highest paid defensive player in NFL history now. He was the highest paid player in NFL history, but
Mhm.
um, Joe Burrow topped him. Joe, what do you think about San Francisco versus Pittsburgh?
I love Nick Bosa. I love that defense. In my opinion, it's also a toss-up. I love this game. I'm really excited for this game. I'm thinking Niners money line at -130, but the Steelers could definitely pull this one out, I feel.
Yep, yep.
49ers had a deep playoff run. Steelers just missed the playoffs, but they're definitely going to take a jump this year with Kenny Pickett and Pickens. That's what I
Mike
think.
Tomlin has never had a losing season. Year two, Kenny Pickett. I think Kenny Pickett's going to be great. Um,
I don't know about great, but he's definitely gonna have a better season than last year.
I think a lot of people are counting Kenny Pickett out. I think Kenny Pickett's going to have a really, really good year.
I think so
You
too.
got
Yeah.
George Pickens, Deontay Johnson, Pat Fryermuth.
Najee
Dude,
Harris.
George Pickens, man. George Pickens is electrifying to watch, man. That picture of him on draft night, I always see that in my mind whenever he makes a catch. That was hilarious. George Pickens is a character. He's one of the best receivers in the NFL. He's on the perfect team with Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Give me fucking Pittsburgh in this game.
Wow. Yeah, Steelers have the grit. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yep, give me Pittsburgh at home. If they were on the road, I would take San Francisco. But TJ Watt, man, coming off the edge. Brock Purdy, dude,
Scary.
I'm just waiting for Brock Purdy to come off to
They just drafted
to
that tackle
fall
too.
off a little bit.
I wonder if that tackle Broderick Jones is gonna block Nick Bosa or
I
not.
think he is going to play. They're definitely going to line him up on Nick Bosa. That's a great matchup for the 49ers wise for Nick Bosa to match up against the rookie. Nick Bosa is probably going to have 2 or 3 sacks in this game. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a close game, but I think Pittsburgh's going to pull it out in the end.
Okay.
Uh,
I respect that pick.
Arizona, Washington.
Oh, Cardinals are a dumpster fire this year. They're gonna be a dumpster fire. I'm telling you that. Their new head coach, don't trust him. He looks like Adam Gase to me. That's what I feel. Um, I think Washington takes this one, obviously. But I don't know. Washington is definitely, I feel they're gonna be either last place or they're gonna be third place in the division this year.
New
But I would
ownership with
definitely,
Washington as well. They
yeah.
sold out FedEx Field. The Arizona Cardinals are going to start Clayton Tune or Josh Dobbs, which is an absolute disaster. Who knows what's going to happen with Kyler Murray? I don't think he's going to be back this year on a really, really bad Cardinals team. Kyler Murray probably played his last down for the Cardinals well, I think.
Hmm.
They're going to owe him, I think, 40 or $50 million extra if he comes back and gets hurt again. And
Right.
in a lost year for the Cardinals, and with a questionable head coach asking players if they took the bus in a team meeting. Who knows? We could come back week in the middle of the season and say Cardinals winning games, man, and we could eat our words. But
Yeah, definitely.
and
I
but
I will say I'm wrong if this happens, but for the people that are watching, take the Cardinals under in wins this season. That's what I think.
I think the Cardinals are gonna have the first pick in the draft, and they're gonna have their pick between Drake May and Caleb Williams coming out from USC. Drake May,
Mm.
respectively, from North Carolina. It's, I don't know how much Cardinals fans like Kyler Murray, so this is going to be an interesting situation unfolding in Arizona throughout the season. I don't think, again, I'm going to say this, I don't think Kyler Murray is going to be playing again this season. I think he's going to be traded after this season. Um, give me the Commanders against the
Yes.
really, 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 really dysfunctional, bad Arizona Cardinals team. Next game, Houston, Baltimore. Joe, who do you got?
Ravens money line. There's really not much to be said here. CJ Stroud is he's a rookie. He's going into his first game. Damian Pierce is going into his second year. Could definitely do something with the team, but CJ Stroud, he's a rookie, so he still needs to get his game reps in with full starters. And Texans aren't going to be as good as people. People
I
aren't going to think
disagree.
that.
I like D'Amico Ryans a lot. I like his
Think
staff that
so?
he surrounded himself with. They're going to be a tough team this year. They might not get as many wins as they might as I mean they might think they're going to win a little bit because every team has hope going into the season. But I think the Houston Texans are going to be a solid team this year. And I think D'Amico Ryan's going to turn that team around for the long haul down in Houston. But give me the Baltimore Ravens for this game as well.
Well, don't get me wrong. I know the Texans have a bright future and everything, but just right now, thinking of
Right,
right now for this game, I got Ravens money line.
I agree.
They're an established team. They definitely have a shot for the playoffs this year, even in the AFC, the
Right.
hard AFC this year.
AFC North, man, that's gonna be a tough division. We're gonna watch that all year. I can't wait to watch that with you, Joe.
For sure. What do you
Um,
think? AFC East or AFC North is going to be the better division this year?
AFC East.
I think so too.
AFC East is gonna be a. We'll get to that eventually and our
Yeah,
thoughts on
we'll get to
that.
that.
Green Bay and Chicago, Joe.
Okay. I have Green Bay plus 1.5. There's not much. It's kind of a toss up for me too. I do think the Bears are a good team. Remember last year, week one, when the Bears pulled that upset? That was amazing to watch. But with Jordan Love this year, it's kind of hard to tell. People love Jordan Love, but I'm iffy on him. I don't know. He's definitely not going to be like Aaron Rodgers, but I feel like it's a good change of
Who
scenery.
knows? Jordan Love could be really, really good, and we
He
could be
definitely
sleeping on
could,
the Packers.
but like Aaron Rodgers, like level, definitely not. I don't think it's hard to go
Not yet.
from.
It's Aaron Rodgers level. Aaron Rodgers is the top quarterback of all time.
I
Jordan
know.
Love is about to play his first regular season, not his first regular season game. He had a couple starts last year when Aaron Rodgers had a thumb injury. But Jordan Love has shows a promise in training camp this year, and I'm excited to watch that Green Bay team. But give me Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears.
Okay.
Stop disrespecting the Chicago Bears this year. They added Tremaine Edmonds on defense. TJ Edwards from the Eagles. I like the Bears this year. Are they going to be great? Probably not. But are they going to be better than they have been in the past?
Mhm.
Absolutely. Give me the Bears.
I
Las
think they're in the
Vegas and
right direction too. I really do think so. And I think the Packers, are in a good direction too. Coming back from last year,
Yep.
with the team chemistry with Rodgers and his teammates, I just feel that they're bringing in their guy. I think it's very hard to go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. So he has a lot of weight on his shoulders from the Packers fans.
Yep. He does. Absolutely. There's a lot of pressure on him to come in, and he's had 3 4 years of backing up Aaron Rodgers under his belt now. So it's time for him to come in and produce for this Packers team. But for now, give me the Bears in this game. Joe, I have a timer ticking down on my Zoom of four
4
minutes.
minutes.
4 minutes, so let's get through these games
Gotcha.
a little bit more. Vegas and Denver, Joe. Who do you got with Russell Wilson and Sean Payton
I think the
making their
Broncos are
debut?
winning this one, and I do think I would definitely take the Broncos spread at -3.5.
I agree with that. Give me Denver against Jimmy Garoppolo and the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't know what's going on with Chandler Jones right now, but Josh McDaniels is not a head coach. I'll just say
Yep,
that right now. He's in a fucking atrocious head coach, and this is gonna be his last year as a head coach. Even if he makes it through the season, I think the Raiders gonna be awful this year. Give me Denver and the Broncos.
I like that.
Philadelphia and New England.
I think it's going to be a beatdown. Eagles -4. Patriots are going to be a good team this year, but they're going to be last place in the division with a heavily stacked AFC East team.
In New England to be around 500, they always are with Bill Belichick, just like the Titans are with Mike Vrabel, a former Bill Belichick player. So we'll see what happens in New England this year. They're definitely not be atrocious,
No, don't
we'll
count out
see what
New
happens with
England.
Mac
Don't count
Jones
them
because
out.
it's going to get loud if
Yeah.
Mac Jones is very bad this year. Give me the Eagles as well. Miami and Los Angeles, the Chargers.
I have Dolphins money line actually, and I'm not biased at this point because they're in my division. I have Tua. He's going to make a statement this game over 1.5 touchdowns. You could even take the Dolphins +3. They're the underdog in this game.
I like Justin Herbert. I like the Chargers. This is a toss up for me. I'm going to take the Dolphins as well. I want to take the Chargers so bad, but
Yeah, I'm not betting on this game though
I like
because
the
I don't
offensive
like
weapons
picking the other team.
the offensive weapons in Miami are just I think are better than what Justin Herbert has at his disposal. I think Brandon Staley, the head coach for the Chargers, is going to have another rough year as head coach. I think this is going to be his last year as head coach as well. Um, I think he's a better defensive coordinator than he is a head coach. So give me the Dolphins and Los Angeles and Seattle, Joe.
Last game until Monday Night Football, obviously.
Yep.
I'm gonna take Seahawks spread -5. You could definitely take the money line, but it's heavily favored towards them, so it's not really worth it in my opinion. I take -5. I'm not sure if Stetson Bennett is playing the first game for
He
for
is
the
not. It's
Rams.
gonna be Matthew Stafford. He's having trouble relating to his teammates. Did you see what his wife came out and said recently?
No, I didn't see it.
He's having trouble connecting with his teammates. He's like, oh, these guys are always on their phones. Like, what am I supposed to do? Am I gonna go up and take it from them? Like, I mean,
Yeah,
So I who know it does not seem like a good environment there in Los Angeles right now. They sold out for Super Bowl. They won a Super Bowl, but they're paying the price right now. They're
yeah.
in salary cap hell. Who knows what's going to happen with Aaron Donald? The trend on that's going to be a topic we're going to watch, Joe, as the season unfolds.
I can't believe
Give
I forgot about
me,
Matthew Stafford,
give me
because
the Seahawks as well.
yeah, I agree. I think Geno Smith, is gonna have another good year. Not as good as last year, but he's definitely gonna make a jump on this team.
I agree. The Rams are going to be very very bad this year. The number one of the top targets is Tutu Atwell, so we'll see how that unfolds with them. Joe Cooper
Mhm.
Cup's on IR. So moving on to Dallas and New York, Joe. I'm taking the Cowboys. It's just I don't know if I don't know. I'm taking
That's gonna be
this is
hard.
this is
I
tough.
think I'm not too sure what the spread is for the Giants game, but I'm gonna take Cowboys. I
Taking the
think they're gonna
Cowboys as
get it
well.
done at MetLife Stadium.
I agree with you. All right, Joe. All right.